Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to tonight's video, we'd like to quickly reflect and remember the events of September 11th, 2001, 21 years ago, when two planes crashed into the World Trade Center of New York City, one into the Pentagon, and one crashed into the field of Shanksville, Pennsylvania due to the heroic passengers inside that plane. We remember the lives that were lost and remember all the heroes that stood up that morning. There was one lesson we learned on September 11th, 2001. And that was freedom is not free. We've been feeling and facing the reverberations of the killer clowns over the past couple of days. In fact, over the course of the last few days, the Gaming Weekly has been compiling more reports of killer clowns. And we know for a fact that the killer clowns have been insisting that on October 31st of 2022, they are looking to purge the entire world on Halloween night. A purge that will send shockwaves throughout the entire world. And remember, they're wanting to purge because of the fact that they were mistreated through the past few decades. Speaking about killer clowns, again, the Gaming Weekly has compiled more reports concerning the killer clowns, and the killer clowns are now looking to invade. They are wanting to invade into your homes, and that's what it's all about. Right now, the Gaming Weekly is going to show you this very, very strange footage that shows a killer clown outside of the home of a young woman. She got the chance to film the entire incident, but it does show that the killer clowns are wanting to invade, and perhaps there will be more and more out there looking to do the same. Take a look.
Earlier today, I posted a clown sighting video, and the same clown is not outside my house. I have no idea how he found my house, and I live alone. I don't think he can get in, but I'm freaking out.
No.
I called the cops.
Guys, I am getting goosebumps, and I'm having trouble sleeping at night because of what's been going on. And the more that we dig deeper, I'm telling you, the more unsettling it gets. I'm feeling queasy, and I'm just not really looking forward to the 31st of October. Again, the killer clowns are going to make sure that they're going to rise up all over the world to make sure they purge. We've been finding more stories lately on Reddit, Instagram, and other social media platforms out there, and we're going to go ahead and share you the stories that other people have been sharing themselves. They've been sharing the experiences of what they've been seeing as of late. In this first post, it said, quote, "I don't like where this is going, but I need to share this story. One night I heard the door knocking. I found it strange that someone was at the door so late at night, but I assumed maybe it was the neighbor. I walked downstairs and I realized that the person standing outside was no neighbor. There legitimately was a man in a clown costume wanting to get into my house. He had some evil, sinister clown mask, and it was super frightening. I never was scared so badly in my life. I backed off and was signaling the clown no, but he didn't even care. He suddenly started walking back and went somewhere else. For a split moment, I was relieved that he was away. All of a sudden, I hear a loud slam in the living room. I ran into the living room and see the clown at my window. He slammed the window again and again. By this point, I was ready to call the cops. I shouted at the clown, 'Get off my property, or I will call the cops.' It was creepy. His eyes widened, but he started laughing. He was laughing hysterically, like some lunatic. It was really unsettling. He then walked out of there and then simply went back onto my front door. He was trying to open the door again, but he couldn't open it. I said, 'That's it, I'm calling the cops,' and reached for my phone and dialed 911. I told him exactly what was happening. The creepy clown slowly was walking away from my house and waved goodbye. He ran into the distance and disappeared. Minutes later, the cops came and I told them exactly what happened. They told me to keep all the doors shut and locked and to make sure to call if there's any disturbance happening again. That night, I went to sleep thinking about it. if I'm being honest, I got no sleep whatsoever that night. I was incredibly scared. Just imagine what was going through the mind of this man. I mean, he was hearing the door knock. He goes downstairs, and all of a sudden he sees a killer clown at the door. What would he do? You're just trying to sleep, and you see a killer clown downstairs. That is incredibly unsettling. You cannot tell me that that's not scary, because it is. I wouldn't want anyone to experience that, no matter who you were. We're going to go ahead and continue the second story. We're going to go ahead and continue to the second story here. The second story says, I was cooking up some dinner when all of a sudden I hear something from my window. I kept hearing the strange noise over and over, so I stopped and wanted to check. All of a sudden I see some guy in a clown mask throwing objects at my window. I instantly was creeped out because this isn't something you see every day. I noticed that behind him was another clown. I assumed they were looking to rob me or something. One of them shouted, "Open the door, we want to show you something." I obviously did not open the door. I grabbed my camera and filmed the two clowns at my window before one of them walked up into my porch and started hitting the door. He was trying to break in. He kept using all his force to open the door, but it never budged. The other clown I saw was just standing there, smiling at me. I noticed that he had his hand inside his pocket, so clearly he was grabbing something. I grabbed the kitchen knife and also called the cops. I was too scared to even talk, but I told them that I was being stalked by clowns in my house and they were looking to break in. After talking to the police, the clowns left some weird note on it. I didn't want to open the door and pick up the note just in case it was a plan to get me to open the door for them to enter and attack me. I waited until the cops came. When they came, I told them what happened and picked up the note in the process. The note read, "Come outside to play with us," with pictures of balloons all over the note. The cops viewed this as a credible threat and decided to search the area, but no clowns were ever discovered from what they told me. It certainly was the most alarming and frightening moment in my life, and I've been hearing news stories about killer clowns all over the world rising up again. I have no idea what's going to happen next. I just want this to stop. So that was the second story, and here again, I mean, just put yourself into these victims' shoes. I mean, you're just, all of a sudden, one day you're cooking dinner, and then you start hearing something out the window. You go out the window, you see two killer clowns out there trying to break in. That's traumatizing right there. That is going to traumatize this young woman for sure. It's just unsettling to me that there are some people out there who are willing to put on clown masks and clown costumes and just trying to break into people's homes. And remember what one of the demonic, that they have nothing but destruction in their mind, that they want to instill fear in this world, that they're going to rise up and they're going to make sure that everyone is going to feel the, quote, wrath, the wrath that's going to be in this world on the 31st of October. So, again, everybody, we here at Part of the Gaming Weekly, we want everyone to be safe. I know there's a lot of people asking in the comments section exactly which state they're in. From what we know, they are stationed in every single state, but this is only coming from what the killer clowns said. We really have no idea exactly, but the killer clowns did say that they are all over the United States. They're in Texas, Florida, New York, a lot of different states out there that, of course, a lot of people are clearly living in, but there's also other countries out there that they're living in, that they're stationed at. Remember, it's a huge network. They're stationed in Mexico, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, the United Kingdom, all over the world. So you have to make sure that you keep an eye out. If you're going outside, like I said before in the previous video, look to your left, look to your right, look right in front, and look behind, because they're probably looking, if the killer clowns are around, they're probably looking to abduct you in some kind of way. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting nearer and nearer to the 31st of October. I personally have no idea what's going to happen. I am not going to go outside. I can guarantee you that on the 31st of October. I hope that a lot of people out there are not going to go trick-or-treating. I hope a lot of people out there are just going to enjoy their time inside, because if there's a purge, a worldwide purge, We have no idea what's going to happen. So that is our advice to all of you, to make sure that you stay safe. And as always, please, please, please make sure you take care for yourself and for others out there. If you haven't done so yet, make sure to watch the Gaming Weekly, the tips on how to survive the Killer Clown Purge. Until then, we will have more information concerning the Killer Clowns. We do want to thank you so much for tuning in for the Gaming Weekly. We will catch you next time in TGW, talking more about the Killer Clowns as we're getting more and more stories by the day. And again, we really have no idea what's going to happen next. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. And again, please be safe out there.